Start. Dim.
Hello again, welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH. We're continuing our look through using VoiceOver with some built-in apps. And in the last video, I was starting to show you how to use the Safari web browser with VoiceOver, and we kind of ran out of time. And I was just starting to talk about the item chooser, and that's where we're going to pick up here in this video. So I'm going to go use my double tap, and I'm going to switch back my app switcher, and I'm going to go back to my Safari window here.
Safari.
All right.
Safari. Skip to main content.
All right, we're back. Hush. All right, so we're back into Safari, and we're back onto our AppleVis webpage that we've been looking at. Again, like I said, this is just a great resource. I check it all the time. Highly recommended. So, like I said, we could navigate by moving our finger around the screen. We could navigate by the rotor, which I often do, especially if I'm looking for like a certain, category or section of a web page. I can usually do it by heading or by form control or, different things like that. I maybe need to quick find a login form or a search form on a web page. Boom, I can do that quickly. But this web page, it's a clean looking web page, but there's a lot of content here. I mean, we've got the top area, we've got the main body, we've got down the right hand side, we've got some other stuff over there. So, there's a lot going on here, and there's a whole bunch of links. So what I was talking about here is if we triple tap the screen with two fingers. Oh, crap. Uh-oh. Let's try that again. Triple tap.
Item chooser. 100.
Item chooser.
Search field.
101 items. Now, what this does is it brings up a searchable, almost like a links list. Think of links list if you're in JAWS or System Access. That's what it does. It brings up, and it's not just links though. It brings up an item chooser. So any navigable item on the screen is going to be available here. So if I move my finger near the top of the screen,
item chooser 141. Search field.
So I've got a search field. I can edit that. I can double tap to edit that, and I will do that shortly. But if I flick to the right or just move my finger down,
AppleVis forum was flagged as hot 3 days 3 hours ago. AppleVis forum was flagged as hot. AppleVis forum was flagged. So
on this page we've got a lot of links that are just AppleVis forum, different forum posts that are linked. And what they do is they arrange them alphabetically. So it's not just where they are on the page, but it kind of makes it easier. So if maybe I'm looking for, a lot of times when I go to a website, I'm going to look for a phone number for a company or something, or an email address. So I might want to find a contact page. So that's going to give me some information like addresses and email addresses and phone numbers. So I'm going to go back up to my
search field.
I'm not sure what they're going to have here,
is editing.
But I'm going to try it anyway just to see what happens.
V C C O N Item to T.
So I'm going to stop item there, chooser. And I'm going to go back up to my list.
Field. Item chooser 5. Contact. Skip to main content. Contact.
Well, gee, the first item happens to be contact. Well, that sounds pretty spiffy. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to double tap that.
Contact. Link.
Now, keep in mind, and I do forget this on occasion, that right now it got rid of my item chooser, but it did not click the contact link that it happened to be. All it did is move my VoiceOver focus to that contact element on the page. Now that I'm on it, I can, and I'm back on the actual page, I can double tap it again.
Skip to main content.
And that will bring me, boom, right to my contact page. So when you select an item from the item chooser, keep in mind, just remember that it does only bring you to that point on the screen. It does not, if it is a clickable item, whether it's a link or a button or a form control or whatever it is, it's not going to activate that, and you will have to do that on your own. But at least it'll get you there. Also, remember with the item chooser that you can use this on any app. You can use it anywhere. You could use it on the home screen. You could use it in Mail. You could use it in some of the future apps that we haven't looked at. You could use it in the App Store. And it is especially useful on, let's say you've downloaded a new app and you are trying to figure out the layout of it, and you kind of want to go through it sequentially, but maybe there's just some other things, or you've kind of gone through it sequentially and you remember there was a certain control or a button somewhere, but you have no idea where it is. You could, if you knew, let's say it was a play button, or you knew there was a menu button somewhere, I could just open that app chooser with the triple tap with 2 fingers on the screen, and then I could do a search for that. I remember there was a menu button there somewhere, let's say, and start typing in menu, and it should find that for you and pop your focus there. So between the rotor and the item chooser, and then just your overall moving your finger around and flick gestures, you can get around a web page or app pretty darn quickly and pretty efficiently. Surprisingly, a lot more efficiently than I thought you could with just a touchscreen interface, because on the computer I'm used to having that full keyboard, hitting my H's and N's and links list, usually modifier F7.
Notification from Solara.
Oh, great.
All of your shops have Go for you.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I get a notification. Yep, there's our Solara thing again. I don't know if I've covered that app on this stream by the time I uploaded this or not, but that is a game that will be covered. So look forward to that if you haven't already. But yeah, so we're on this contact page.
Our discussion forum link.
Let's see. Let's use our rotor.
Links. Headings.
Headings.
Contact. Heading level 1.
Contact. Now if I flick to the right.
Use the form below to contact the AppleVis site admin.
Okay, let's flick to the right again.
Please do not use this form to ask specific questions about Apple devices, Apple software, or third-party applications, as we are not able to provide one-to-one support. These questions should be posted to.
Okay, so basically that's telling us that, yada yada, some information about that. So before I go to the actual form, now let's say that, okay, maybe I do want to contact them, so I'm going to move my rotor again. I'm going to
links.
2-finger rotate here.
Form controls.
Now we found form controls. I'm going to flick down.
Your name, star, text field.
So your name, star, and usually that means it's required.
Your email address, star, text field. Subject, star.
Again, I'm just flicking down.
Double message, star, text field. Math question, star, multi-line text field.
Okay, so basically instead of a CAPTCHA, they're doing kind of an authentication thing, which is kind of a neat idea. If I flick to the left here now,
6 plus 2 equals.
6 plus 2 equals, and then I flick to the right.
Math question, star, multi-line.
So that's required, so 6 plus 2, I could double tap in there and type in 6 plus 2, or I could just type in 8, because that's the answer to that question, obviously. So rather than doing a crazy inaccessible CAPTCHA, I like their way of authenticating, making sure that it's a real person, but not making it a complete inaccessible pain in the rear.
Solve this simple math problem and enter the result. E, G.
Yep, yada yada. So send email. So you notice I was able to quickly navigate by heading. I was able to read the little description above, and then I was able to navigate through the form, and if I were to double tap on any of those, the keyboard would pop up and I could still easily type in and interact with that, all with on-screen controls, no external keyboard or whatever necessary. There's a lot more to the internet than that, but, using the gestures that we've gone over so far in this video and all the other ones, your flicking, your 2-finger flick down, your 3-finger flicks, your item chooser thing with your triple tap with 2 fingers, your rotor gesture, and just learning the layout of all the different applications, in this case Safari, you can now get around and start being pretty darn productive on your iOS device. We can check our email, we can surf the App Store, we can surf the internet, we can poke around in some of our other apps, change some settings, and look at what we got there. And like I said, we'll cover some other apps in the future. We're kind of wrapping up most of the ones I think that I want to cover as far as like the built-in apps go. I may do a calendar app. I probably will actually, because I know a lot of people like to have an appointment calendar and things like that. So I may do that one, but I think that'll probably wrap up most of the built-in apps. Then we'll start having fun. Then we'll start having fun and going more into some of the third-party apps that you can get through the App Store, and being able to use and demonstrate some of those. And I do know that unfortunately some of those I'm not going to be able to demonstrate, but I'll at least be able to show you the app icons and talk about them and what they do. Especially I'm thinking of the camera apps, and I really, really wish I could show you. What I may do is I may maybe I'll bring in my work iPod or my work iPhone and use this one to record an off-screen video showing you how some of those camera apps work, because they definitely are worth knowing about. Like I said, your magnifier, your OCR, your barcode, all those cool things. But after we wrap up the next couple of videos here, then we'll start getting into some of these third-party apps that really make iOS become such kind of a powerful tool for blind and visually impaired users. So, well, with that is just kind of a quick wrap-up of using an introduction to using VoiceOver with Safari. Hope you guys found it useful and enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon.